I've been involved in the New York tech ecosystem for about 3 years, and when I first started, our organization, New York Tech Meetup, had about 15,000 members. It took us 7 years to get to 15,000 members. Now in the last 3 years, we've jumped from 15,000 to 40,000 members, and I think that really mimics the growth and the speed of growth in the New York tech ecosystem as a whole. I think that there's that sense of unfulfilled promise because people are always comparing New York City to Silicon Valley, and I think it's a really unfair comparison and not a comparison that's really worth making. I think New York has its own assets, Silicon Valley has its own assets. There are reasons why New York is going to thrive as a tech community that are totally separate from the reasons why Silicon Valley thrives as a tech community. Well, I think it's a natural human reaction to try to understand one thing by comparing it to something else, and I think everyone's doing that to a certain extent. They're trying to understand the growth of the New York tech community through the lens of looking at how that has happened compared to the growth of Silicon Valley. But I think the media does perpetuate some of that debate back and forth about what's bigger, what's better. And I think anything that's connected to the future of work, and in particular the fact that we're moving much more towards a freelance economy where 50% of our workforce will be freelance. So anything that supports that population, things like WeWork, companies like Bench that are doing much lower cost accounting, all of those types of services that support that new workforce, I think are going to be big. Well, I think what's really interesting in New York is that New York is also the capital of so many other industries. It's not really just about the tech industry. And so when we look at what's happening with tech in the city, it's really becoming a horizontal, not a vertical standalone industry. And so I think because we have the capitals of finance and publishing and advertising, we're really likely to see some big companies come out of all of those other industries. I think the ingredient that's missing everywhere, and it's not just here in New York, is talent. We definitely need more people who have the right skill sets to work in tech jobs, and that's something that we're finding in Silicon Valley and really all over the country. I think New York has an amazing natural talent pool, and I think part of what we have to do going forward is really help to make sure that our young people, people who are in the workforce, are getting the training that they need to enter into tech jobs.